Welcome back to our chats with Graham Phillips, and we are today going to talk about why the health service is being used as a big marketing opportunity. Companies like Krispy Kreme donuts in on the act. So exactly what harm is being done to the health of the nation? Find out in this next episode with Graham Phillips from ProLongevity. So welcome back, Graham. What are you seeing out there in terms of the relationship between the food companies and the NHS?
Well, I think my journey begins, John, with McDonald's and their sponsorship of the last Olympics. I mean, why did we allow McDonald's to sponsor the Olympics, and why did they want to do so? Well, it's clearly about the halo effect. You know, the impression you get from that is eat McDonald's and you'll be an Olympian. I don't think so. And within the NHS, if you walk past St Thomas's Hospital, which is one of the biggest and leading hospitals, not only in the country, but probably worldwide, there's a huge, great sign on the wall outside Tommy's that says McDonald's this way. And the McDonald's is inside the hospital, probably opposite the Costa. So why are we allowing both the Olympics and the NHS to be branding opportunities for processed food when we know that a diet of processed food is what's causing all the problems for the NHS in the first place? It's insane.
Yeah, but it's like with charges on the car park, isn't it? The hospitals are relying on quite a bit of sponsorship.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. The hospitals do rely on that sponsorship. But, you know, you've got to look at some point in a sensible way on this. The idea that you would take sponsorship from companies whose wares create diabetes, hypertension, and cancer, and maybe it contribute, I don't know, let's say 3% of the NHS budget. I can't imagine it's more than 5%, and that 80 or 90% of the NHS budget is going on the saving people from the results of the processed food. You know, from a kind of return on investment perspective, it makes no sense. It's no balance sheet that you could reasonably look at would make that sensible. It's become a cultural thing, and we need to attack it.
So you're kind of comparing it to why are the hospitals not allowing cigarette machines in there if they can provide an extra 5% of budget?
Well, it will be the same. Let's not forget that Marlboro cigarettes used to advertise the fact that the majority of American doctors smoke Marlboro brand. It was the most recommended brand by doctors. It's exactly the same playbook. It's just that if you take out the word tobacco and insert the word sugar, you come to the same place. It's an utter disgrace. And let's face it, more people now are dying of associated diseases around metabolic syndrome, the cancer, the dementia, the type 2 diabetes. More people are dying of that than lung cancer now.
Okay, let's just keep this cigarette analogy going. So we well know that, you know, with a dying man about to be shot, that they're offered a cigarette. You've got the same argument. I had it in a community discussion with somebody that was part of a cancer patient charity. And her argument was that when you come out of surgery, you need a bit of comfort. And I guess the same thing, the public thinks that giving the NHS staff a boost with a slice of pizza or indeed a Krispy Kreme donut is what you need to do. What do you think to that?
Well, it will be precisely the same as you probably know that recently, and I got very excised about this, exercise, I should say. Krispy Kreme donuts donated 2,000 donuts to an NHS trust for the staff as they come off the COVID wards as a little reward. And I likened it to if Marlboro cigarettes had delivered 2,000 packets of fags for the same staff to relieve their stress as they came off the ward, there'd have been a complete national outcry. It's exactly the same argument. The parallels are incredible. It simply isn't the case.
Mm. And you saw Malhotra come under attack. Who do you think was behind the attacks and their motivation?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of Asim Malhotra because he's attacked, you know, the food industry, and he's also attacked the statin industry because it's the food industry that you know messes with your cholesterol, and then you take a statin to try and deal with it, rinse and repeat. So he's actually vilified by two huge vested interests, big food and big tobacco. And yeah, they did precisely the same back in the day of smoking, and they tried to discredit all the doctors and all the researchers who said that smoking causes cancer. And it's very interesting. Back in 1994, the chief executives of the 5 big tobacco companies in the US, all 5 of them appeared before the Senate. And all 5 of them swore an affidavit to the Senate that in their best understanding of the science, there's no link between smoking and cancer. This wasn't 1934, not 1954, but 1994. You can find it on the internet today if you choose to, and I've done so. Maybe we could put the link into the video after we finish. And they've known the truth for 40, 50 years. It's precisely the same playbook. And yes, I get very angry about it, John.
Okay, right. So I've just promoted you to Food Strategist Director for Public Health England, to come up with a plan to help our NHS and key workers stay healthy. How are you going to feed them, and how are they going to survive?
Well, in some ways, it's quite simply. We've all seen that logo, haven't we? Stay at home, save lives, protect the NHS. How's about this one? Eat real food, protect the NHS, save lives.
Wow. Well, on that note, I'll thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Good to see you, John.
If you enjoyed that, you want to know more about Graham's program, Pro Longevity, join our Facebook group, and you can also get invitations to some of the private webinars he runs and free assessments too. So from myself and Graham Phillips, bye for now.